Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Sunday to you. Happy Sunday. I am Tony Sawyer. Welcome to another session with Cornerstone. Here we're in our home. We've been doing this since before the pandemic, since right after the pandemic, and we have been going steady ever since. Ever since. It's cold in the Carolinas. Looked out today, and there's frost on everything. Let me move some of them banners out the way here. And we are doing well. We're doing well. Pastor's coming along pretty good. He's a little slower today, but he'll be here in a moment, hopefully. And baby girl's here with me. So I hope you're doing well this morning. Let's see who's here. Let's see who's here this morning. This is Sandra. I'm going to start with the, hey, Sandra. Pastor Esther, I will be going to the hospital on Friday to get surgery done. Oh, okay. So you're going to get your hip done. All right. We'll be in prayer with you, Sandra. Thank you so much for letting us know. And Leslie, hey, how are you this morning, sweetheart? Thank you for the gift that came in the mail. There's Vern. Hey, Bernie. There's JK, Brooke K. And then there is Dee Dee and George. Good morning to you guys. And happy birthday to Brother William Carr. That's right. It's his birthday today. It is his birthday today. He's an old man. I know he's an old man. Old man. They all said happy birthday to you, brother-in-law, in case you're watching. I know you are. And there's Yvette. Hey, Yvette, how are you this morning? And Kathy, good morning to you. And Brother Carter, he is. He and Sissy. Look forward to seeing you guys later on today. Yeah, his happy birthday. How old are you, Brother Carr? Tell us how old you are. Tell us how old you are. And then there's Pastor Norman just came in. Hey, Pastor Norman. Pastor Norman, do we want to do anything on Tuesday? That's Christmas Eve. Are you busy doing something Tuesday? Let me know. Let me know. They're just saying happy birthday to you, Brother Carr. I call him brother-in-law. He's my favorite brother-in-law. As a matter of fact, he's my only brother-in-law, so he has to be my favorite. He said he's 70. Good gracious alive. Oh, my God. I'm 76. Last night, I went, yesterday, about 6, it was night, it was dark. But anyway, I went to the store. And it there was hardly anybody out, but the store that I went to, Harris Tweeter, my husband called it Harris Tweeter. They were busy a little bit, and had only 2 registers open. And so I got all my stuff and I headed to those 2 registers, and it was a lot of people in the line. I thought, oh man, I'm gonna have to stand in line. And here comes this young man out of nowhere. I don't know where he came from. Cute as a button, 18 years old. He said, I'll check out your groceries. I said, you will? Yeah. So he went to a register, didn't turn the light on, and just checked me out. I didn't even have to go through the line like everybody else. He didn't check anybody else out. And I'm thinking, man, that's what you call favor. That's what you call favor. Hey, Sanette, how you doing? She says, sunny and beautiful in Denmark. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. It's sunny here, too, but it's cold. But it didn't feel bad. I took baby girl out. We didn't get to walk yet, but she went out and she did her business and came back in. And she ran her little toy a little bit and came back in. And so it felt good to me. I just went out with my sweater, but I know it's cold. Pastor Norma says he'll be home. So if we want to, we can still come on Tuesday night, can't we? Yeah, we can. It doesn't have to be a Christmas sermon, does it? Yeah, it doesn't have to be. What's a VIP service, Jill? What's a VIP service? Tell me what you're talking about. I got to find out where my husband is. He's supposed to be coming down. Can you guys hold on for a minute? Can you hold for just a minute? Just a minute. I'll be right back. Right back. This way. thanks for waiting. Thanks for waiting. He forgot. I don't know what he got tired of doing, but he was sitting, I think, comfortably in the room. And I wonder what he was doing. Let's find out. Here he comes. Here he comes. Are you coming? Huh? Yeah. What happened? We're waiting on you. What happened? You were getting ready. Anyway, he's gone in the kitchen. I don't know what he's doing in there. What's a VIP service? Tell me, girlie. What's a very important person? Who's the very important person? Oh my goodness. Who is that very important person? I guess we all are. All of us are VIP. Now, see, baby girl's gotten up and she started to bark and stuff. And you coming in here? What happened, darling?
Just sitting down and trying to get the music straight. Forgot all about it.
You forgot all about it, and that's what you were getting ready for. Maybe.
Yeah, I did. I'm telling you. That's all I'm doing.
You gonna say hey to everybody?
Everybody.
Hey, Brother Blue.
Hello.
Hey, Sister Sharon. John Greason's in the house. Hey, guys. Hey, guys. Just had to get a little get started here, Pastor.
Oh, I'm telling you, I've been having a time, y'all. Trying to keep up with things and stuff. Ain't got to play with nothing, don't.
Well, I have to say that you guys I want to keep you guys updated with Pastor's recovery. He's doing better, moving better, and all of that. But I think the surgery's kind of left him with a little cognitive dysfunction. You want to call it that? Because he's having a little trouble with his memory now.
Yeah, I changed my name to Trump.
Oh gosh.
That ain't too good. I had to go back to the doctor for that one.
We might have to deport you.
I don't live by the Constitution anymore.
Oh, okay.
That did it. Oh, I'm sorry, late, but I just.
Thanks, Jill. I understand now. You're referring to when I was talking about the little guy that checked me out at this grocery store. That checked out my groceries. Not checked me out because he wasn't paying any attention to me.
He was checking you out.
He was checking out my groceries.
Don't tell me that.
He was ringing up groceries.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Hey, Sister Phyllis.
Phyllis J, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so thanks, Jill. That I did feel pretty important at that moment.
Really?
I did. I felt very important at that moment. He was so cute as a button and smart.
Who? Smart. Me? So looks the cute as a button.
Yeah, you're cute.
I should call me Button.
He's about to sing, I think. He's gonna sing because I said that.
I used to have a cousin named Button.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We had a dog named Buttons.
Oh, you went to the dog.
Dog
Everybody don't go to the dog.
It was Suki.
Yeah.
Buttons.
Yeah, well.
Buttons was her baby, and then How.
Yeah, I remember that one.
How. You remember How? How was the dog that my daddy bought because he was wanted to breed Suki. Suki would have nothing to do with him because he was too old. He was so old, we named him How because that's the way he barked. How. So anyway, I'm full of talking this morning on it. I'm talking too much. Anyway, are you okay? Usually it's you. Come on over this way a little bit.
You did. Okay. Before I can get you.
Yeah, you turn that way. Turn this way.
Oh, Lord.
Anyway, you got something good to say today.
Yeah.
Anything at all.
Yeah. You want to hear it?
Mm-hmm, I do.
You ready?
Not quite.
Oh, well.
Yeah, go ahead. I can be ready. I can be ready.
If God is in you, Jesus is there.
Mm-hmm.
All the blessings and the promises of God are yea and amen. And these blessings inside of us
Mm-hmm.
has already been activated.
Yeah.
And all we need to do is go to that place on the inside of us by a certain mystical way of conversation. One of the ways to activate all of this, where you can see it, and I'm working on it, is say to yourself in the mirror that I am a daughter or a son of God because you are in me, looking at myself, and myself looking back at itself in the mirror, and command and see that you continue the conversation looking in the mirror. Tell that you see in the mirror yourself that you forgive it, you love it, and you are patient. And the Christ self in me as me is looking at you through the glass and back and forth. Stay in that for as long as you can. That would automatically take your attention and your awareness to a higher vibrational frequency and a higher level of consciousness and awareness of Him, of your true self.
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's a good exercise.
That will take you home for Christmas.
That's a good exercise.
Yeah, that'll take you home for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And before you know it, you'll be having, and I don't mean to say this to make you think that other bells gonna be ringing, but
What are you talking
but
about?
now hold still, girl. I'm trying to tell you that bells will be ringing, but it won't be like you see on television on them songs that they sing for Christmas. And you'll get a chance to experience what it's like to operate in God in oneness. And that prayer, or those words that you say, is what you call the born again. Let's say it like this: the experience of the new birth experience will proceed further on into an active part of your life, because the new birth experience is only the start of the experience of God. And it is a place, the new birth experience is a place where we have stopped because of the monkey mind ego and the conditioned self of a mind that says we are that part of us that's thinking and talking all the day long over and over again, but it is not us. That is not you. It is not me.
Take a breath.
Oh. Oh,
Take a
Lord.
breath. Take a breath. Because you said a whole lot. And that sentence just kept going. So now you said a lot. You said a lot.
Have them respond back then.
Yeah, respond back based on what Pastor has just
If
spoken.
you can. If you can't, it still does not stop that operation.
It does not.
Because it's already enforced and back and in force and working.
I'm hoping that others of you, other than myself, are coming to a place. Good morning, Oliver and Yolanda.
Good morning.
And I hope you're coming to a place such as where I feel myself coming to, and that is a place of just being. There's a lot of effort that I used to put into trying to be spiritual.
Yeah.
A lot of effort I put into trying to uh, gain more knowledge. A lot of effort went into that. And now I find that a lot of that it's like a pot that's been boiling. Now it's simmering. It's just simmering. There's not a lot of seeking.
That's
There's
right.
not a lot of urges to know more. There's not a real heavy desire or urgent desire to experience more. Just really coming to a place of being and accepting life as it is, moving through life, and realizing that as I've come to that place of effortless effort, I'll call it that because you call it that, effortless effort, that things kind of automatically just fall in place. Um, and if they don't, it's no big deal because we're still just, like you said, nothing changes.
Right.
Nothing
Right.
has changed.
Talking to yourself in the mirror
Hmm.
is talking to God, talking to Himself, the real you, back to yourself in the mirror.
Yes.
Getting
Yes.
saved and waking up is the clue that seemingly gets you started.
Yeah.
But actually, you don't need any cranking up. You don't need any warming up. You don't need any heating up. Just talking to the God inside of you is not slipping and losing your mind and going crazy.
Yeah.
You are crazy
It's
already.
not. In fact, it's not a. It's
If you don't see it.
in fact, it's not really a mystical experience.
No, no, it's
It's
not really
it's
not.
just a practical exercise to bring the focus of your mind back into its right position.
The Christ in you is the Christ in everybody all over the universe.
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
Christ in you is the Christ in
Mm-hmm.
everything that is life, from a bumblebee to a honeybee and a dee da dee
Yes,
do.
yes. Now Oliver says this. He said, "Yes, resting on God, resting on love. Yes, that's a good way to put it. I like the way you put that. Resting on God, resting in love. Yes.
Now, here's what I do, Brother Oliver, in the resting in and the resting on.
Mhm.
I tell myself that I love you. I love it. I love God.
So isn't it something that
Looking in the mirror.
it's taken you 77 years to come to the place to love
Yeah.
you, to
Yeah.
just love you and to accept yourself.
Has nothing to do with your feelings. Now,
Yeah.
one thing you got to remember, it ain't got nothing to do with being ugly. Because if you look in the mirror when you get up in the morning and start talking like that, it might throw you into a hucklebuck.
Well, I mean, when your insides, your true, your essential self looks in the mirror, and when you look in the essential self is ageless. I mean, it doesn't age. When it looks in the mirror and sees a 76-year-old body, there's shock therapy.
Yeah.
There's shock.
Good to see you, Miss Lisa.
Hey, Miss Lisa, how you doing, sweetie pie?
Lord, girl,
Now,
it's been a long time.
Sanette said this. She said, "I can feel that. It's like a homecoming.
Yeah.
Being joyful,
Oh, God.
being
Girl, didn't you
joyful
tell?
without knowing
Woo,
why, or
honey.
peaceful and
Ooh.
relaxed, even though the outer
Mm.
circumstances are still a bit
You
challenging."
brought a
Oh,
you
that's
brought a
so
goosebump up in my chest when
good.
just I saw your name said
Yeah,
that.
yes. Now I want to read that again. Can I read that again?
Go ahead, read it.
I can feel that. It's like a homecoming.
God, I feel that all over my
Being
arms.
joyful without knowing why. Now that's a big statement.
I love you.
Peaceful and relaxed, even though the outer circumstances is a bit challenging.
Tell your God self in the mirror, though, what she's saying.
And I like the way you put that, Sinette. The outer circumstances are a bit challenging, but it's like now I'm ready to face the challenges. I don't like them, but I face them, and it's okay.
Now, the side effect of this dimension will talk you out. It will, but to put it like this, it will talk itself out of it.
Yeah.
The side effects of this dimension through your mind, talking to God in the mirror, will stick its head up like a snake inside,
Yep.
like it's you having problems doing it or understanding it or
It'll
receiving it.
resist. The mind sometimes will resist.
That's what I'm saying. That's the side effects of being in this dimension. It is the mind resisting of what you are saying to yourself that is absolutely pure truth. There's no struggle in it. May have to just say one word, say good morning, then drop your head back down and wash your face.
Mm.
Hey, there you go. Early in the morning when
Well,
your
in your
love
case,
come down.
and in your case, brush your face.
I brush my face and wash my teeth. But but if
Mm.
you finally get you're going to have a surface it's a surface thing. You know, I used to see these guys do plumbers welding pipes together and water lines under houses years ago, and they would put there's some kind of screen in this felt material around the joint.
Oh
And after they
yeah,
put
yeah,
that in there,
yeah,
it's a name
yeah.
for
It
that.
is a name for that.
And they put that around the joint, and then they take the lid, put it in a kettle, a candle, whatever kind of kettle. It hot. It's like a stove. They call it a
Mm-hmm.
kettle.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the old guys call it a keel, and they
Yeah. Oh
put
yeah, it's like a kiln.
yeah, it's a
Mm-hmm.
keel, and they put the bars of wax and different mixtures in this keel, and when it melt, it leaves a slicky like film over top of it. And what they do is take that metal cup with a long handle on it and skim the top of it off to get the product that they're looking for. When you
Mm-hmm.
start talking to yourself in the
Mm-hmm.
mirror, saying that
Mm-hmm.
you and God
Mm-hmm.
are everything to each other, that you are
Mm-hmm.
His love is your love,
Mm-hmm.
that you have no judgments against yourself and not against anybody. Don't care what the mind bring up at that time, you're skimming the film and the dirt off of the top of the lead. They call it the
Yeah.
lead.
Yes.
They would
Yes.
take that lead and pour it all over that screen and that fine looking stuff and put it together and it seal it. They
Mm-hmm.
got
Mm-hmm.
modern ways
Mm-hmm.
now of doing that uh, through
Yeah,
different
they have a lot of ways to do
lot
that
of
now.
modern day
Yes.
ways of doing it.
Yes. Yes.
We are going home the old way. We're crossing the bridge of troubled water, and we crossing the bridge that troubled water that has been created in this dimension to give off the idea that we are really in a good place with God and ourselves.
Can I? Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Can I say this, Pastor? We have we often get calls or emails from certain people who knew us from way back when we were in the brick and mortar, and they have certain things they want to have us address to them personally. We recently had someone who is having such a hard time. They're still in church in the brick and mortar, trying to be faithful to that particular fellowship, and having such a hard time in there because their awareness has expanded to the place where a lot of it is no longer beneficial. Being in that setting is no longer serving or benefiting that person. And I can say this, that some of us uh, are in the process of deconstruction, the deconstruction of old beliefs, or I won't say old beliefs, but religious beliefs that no longer serve you.
Yeah,
And
ooh, that is running out.
yeah, it has run out, and it doesn't mean it's that church is insignificant, but
That's where they are.
it means at that point in your journey, church has lost its influence in order to help you move forward, and
Mm-hmm.
because it can't take you any further.
Mm-hmm.
And so in some cases, like in the case of the one that I'm thinking of, it actually begins to be a thorn in the flesh. What is it?
John Greason said the name of it. Flux.
Flux. Yeah, he said it.
Yeah. Thank you, Holy Ghost, man.
And so in the case of deconstruction, you will find you are very disturbed by church as you have known it in the past. But you can go to, and I was saying this to my husband earlier, You can leave that church and go to another church where there is less of that type of drama and be able to sit there, hear an inspirational sermon, and leave. So it's not church that's the problem. It's the beliefs that church people have. And if we have come through a certain, I say a certain sect of Christianity that talks about the Spirit of God and the voice of God and the prophetic and all of this, then you tend to have a lot more chaos and a lot more drama, because there are people who feel like they're hearing from God, and sometimes it's not hearing from God. It's just their egotistical, spiritualized egos, I should say, and they're saying things to one another and they're constantly in this judgment. And so when you're in that setting, and I don't know if it's someone listening to this, but when you're in that setting, you tend to be disturbed most of the time. And you can't reach that place that Sinette's talking about. Where she says it's a homecoming, a being joyful without knowing why, a peaceful, relaxed, even though the outer circumstances are challenging. You can't reach that when you're in a constant state of flux, as John Greason said, where you're being deconstructed. And Oliver, you're exactly right. It's church brain. And many of us who come through that path, we still have traces and residue of that church brain.
That's right.
And that's what the flux is, isn't it, Pastor?
Yeah. That's the flux around those pipes, the joints. Here's talking to yourself in the mirror may sound to some people cultish.
Yes.
But can you understand the mother? If you can ever catch on to the mother lode that is actually being releasing to you the wealth and prosperity of God that we are, He is, I am. You are. Now, here's what I say. Some of the things I would say, it may be relaxed. Just be relaxed and say what comes to you. I am love. I am the love of God. I love myself. I am the I am self of wealth.
Okay, let's take one sentence at a time. I am the love
of God.
Just say that to yourself right now. I am the love of God. Now, what's the next one?
And the next one is I am the self wealth of God.
I am the self wealth.
I am the self wealth of God.
Wait a minute. We're going to say it. I am the self wealth of God.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the wealth that I am is the wealth that God made me already. Everything in me is yea and amen. That's a long one.
Yeah, that's a long one. Yeah, so see, I want to slow you. I'm trying to slow Pastor down so we can hear how he actually does this, and then feel how he actually does this. This is and it's really all about. It's kind of about self-imagery too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Self-imagery, because how I see myself is very, very important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I stay in there for 30 minutes. And if I go in the closet, that is 30 minutes. In the mirror, the seconds is all that I do there. Because I don't stand there all day and pat myself and love myself. And I'm so sorry. And then say, oh God, I made a mistake. There's no warfare in God, and there is no mistakes in God, and there's no regrets in God. And there is any thought that come to you that you want to find out how to straighten somebody out. That is a lie. You don't need to even mess with that. That won't even get in. That bullet won't even fit my gun. And so you just forget about anything like that, because now you found out who you are. The most amazing thing about this is that when you walk up to somebody and look at them, all of a sudden you can start seeing God in everybody in the store, and your mind will be having a Jimmy the Cricket and you'll be standing there looking at this stuff and looking, being aware of your mind and your Christ self, all of that at one time. And here, listen to this. It'll even put you in a position where you can see in all four directions at once. It'll touch you slowly, but you keep up with it.
Listen to this. I want you to say this or type it in, whichever you want. I am that which I have been, and men have been afraid to see. I'm going to say it again. I am that which has been, and men have been afraid to see. I am glorious and complete. That's a good one. To stand in the mirror and say that I am glorious and complete. Or you can say this, and we've said this before, everything I've searched for is all that I now am.
Okay.
I am wise, bold, confident, and fearless. And you're not trying to be this by saying it. You're not saying this and affirming it, trying to be it. You're actually making a statement of declaration of truth. It's not about affirming and confessing, trying to make it be. It already is. We're just making the statement of what's the truth about us.
Now, once you understand that you must, if you don't have to, just say it like this, you must accept the fact that what you're looking for is where you're looking from.
Yes.
And it's right there looking at you in the face.
Yes.
Now,
what you're looking for, type it in. What I'm looking for is where I'm looking from.
Now, what gets me, if you can remember this, if you don't, get your sheet of paper and start doing it like that. It don't matter.
Yeah.
It'll come.
It doesn't have to be the mirror. It can just you can write it, you can recite it, whatever works for you, right?
That thing that we used to have the habit of saying, you're right. God, they say, come on time.
God may not come when you want it, but he's always on time.
Yeah, always on time. You forget that.
God's outside of time.
So. And when you hear people come up to you and say that, and you say something, you don't have to correct them. God is not in you, through you, by you, as you to correct anybody.
Well, I do know this, though, Pastor, that a lot of times things are delayed, not because there's a no, that you can't have it or it can't be, but a lot of times it's delayed for your own good. And not only that, in this time realm that we live in, our creative abilities that we have is based on time. So there's a delay between what we desire and the actual manifestation. Like you mentioned in the near-death experiences, or in the experiences you've had going on the other side of heaven, whenever you think something, it's there. Whenever
that's
the
right.
minute it comes through you, it's there. You're there. And so there's no delay. But here in this time, earth realm, there is the delay.
And why? Here's the answer to that. Why is there a delay? The conditioned self is the one that's experiencing the delay. The monkey mind is the one experiencing the delay. The mind that talks 24/7 and don't want to stop is the delay.
Yes.
That's right. The mind. And the reasoning, sophisticated reasoning of the left brain is saying there must be a delay. Now, but you keep on going. You don't stop. You don't let that railroad tie interfere with the track.
Can I do this? We did this last Sunday. I want to do it again. Hold your thought, Pastor, because it's not going to take long. But you said it's the mind that causes the delay, right?
Yeah.
We gave you this list of what is in the mind, the content of the mind. And this list is just barely scratching the surface. This is the content of the mind that causes the delay. First of all, the mind is a non-stop talking machine, right?
That's right.
It's endless thoughts.
That's right.
Okay. This is part of what's in it. Ideas, concepts, meanings, memories, plans, apprehensions, doubts, repetitions, nonsense, fragments of music, past events, stories, opinions, speculations, images of objects, people, past
Mhm.
and present, imaginations, fantasies, daydreams, fragments of news, media events, scenes from movies, television shows, internet information, financial and business information, and worries, bills to be paid, family issues, culture, politics, all kind of concerns, feelings and moods that are moved by those things, prejudices, blind spots, denials, fears, projections, paranoias, phobias, regrets, guilt, anxiety, poverty mindsets, old age mindsets, sickness mindsets, death, failure, rejection, losses, all of the losses you ever experiences and losses everybody else experiences, and disasters, programs from religion, programs from society, programs from education, slogans, dogmas, distortion of all kinds of facts, lies and errors, misjudgments, misinformation, remorse, and intrauterine influences. That's things that happened to you before you came out of the womb.
Oh,
Postnatal fates,
mhm.
accidental programmings, layers of motives and intents, background voices. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
That's the mind
And
talking.
these are the things that stand in the way of the manifestation.
That is the what you would say, that is the medicine that this dimension uses
Or
to keep.
this is the toxin
Yeah,
that
the
that
toxin.
runs
That's
through
right. That's right.
in
That's
this
right.
dimension that keeps us
That's
from
right.
knowing who we are and being who we
And
are.
it's right here.
It's between our ears.
Now,
The
now Leslie
battleground is right
spoke about
between
the
our
heart.
ears. Yes.
Now, what destroys this is the holy fire of God, of the true self.
Yes. It is grace, acid grace that's blessed us to be able to transcend a lot of that.
That's right. Now, when I'm going to read this again,
Okay.
I am I am the God self.
Mm-hmm.
I am that I am the God self of wealth and prosperity.
Mm-hmm.
I am the God self
Mm-hmm.
in action. The prosperity of God
See,
is now activated
these
in my
statements are so
life.
good, Pastor. You jump right quick to the next one, but the ones you read, give us a minute to marinate in it. Can
Okay,
you
okay, okay,
can you
okay,
start over with that? Can you start
okay.
over that?
I am love, the love of myself.
Yes, yes,
That is right there, the open to prosperity right there.
yes,
Ah,
yes,
glory
yes.
be
It
to
is.
God.
It is.
I am the love of God. I am
Mhm.
the love of myself. I am the self of God's wealth. I done went to another one.
Okay,
Okay.
go ahead.
I am that I am of the abundance of money.
Now hold it. I am the I am. The I am the I am. Is that what you
Yeah,
say?
I am the I am that is the
The
I am abundance of God.
abundance of
And the I
God.
am abundance of God. Bye, 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 bye.
Okay, okay. Let me know if you're catching up with us,
Well,
okay?
you come on, let's
I know
ride. You
because
got to
even
ride.
even in this live stream, there's a little bit of delay. Because when we're talking about something, it takes you guys a minute before you even respond, before we see your response.
When you go back to Genesis, oh, glory be to God, and you read that and get down to the part where Adam, it says Adam needed a girlfriend or wife
It
or
wasn't
sweetheart.
good for him to be alone.
Well, he didn't need to be by himself. God said,
It's
no,
not good to be
I
alone.
don't do that. You don't have to be married, but I'm just saying this is what happened in that time, in that
It's
place.
not
But
good
anyway,
for anybody to be
yeah,
alone, is it?
okay,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
And what he did was this: he put Adam in a sleep.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
what an Anna
Anesthesia, a
anesthesiologist.
divine anesthesia.
That's right. That's right. Put him to sleep and took from him. There was not a time process.
Yeah.
And when he took Eve from Adam, glory be to God.
And he called them both Adam.
Both Adam. Now, how am I? Glory be to God. I mean, Pastor.
Because they're the one. Because they're
Yeah.
one. They're one. They're one.
I talked to a pastor up in the mountain, and he come up.
You know what that? Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off, but you know what that means? If God's son was, if his name was Jesus, which we're not sure, because anyway, the names change based on the actual translations and all. But if God's son is named Jesus, he calls all of us Jesus.
Yeah, that's right.
Because that's what he did with Adam and Eve.
That's right. He really, the name Adam was just something that's put there.
He called them both Adam. So
Adam.
He calls all of us Jesus.
Yeah, the beginning and the end of everything.
Yeah. Calls all of us Jesus.
Now, and eternal, okay? I am the I am self.
I am the I am self.
I am the I am. I am meaning I and God are the greatest I am in the universe.
Yes.
I am quality means I am the essence of God.
Yes.
I am that I am. Then there's the I am. I am complete. I am blessed. I am spirit. I am infinite. I am eternal. I am the unborn. I am nameless, ageless, unbound, authentic, unaffected, undisturbed, unafraid, clear, intuitive self.
Yes,
free, timeless, unconditioned self. Peace, forgiveness, no judgmental, all inclusive,
yes,
indestructible, like Superman. Essential. I am the essentials of every man. I put that in there.
Yes.
Indescribable, undefinable, unaddicted. Oh, stable, formless, stillness, joy, abundance, everywhere, everything that God is. Now, wait a minute, let's stop right there. I am everything that God is. And coming into this dream world called the earth did not remove that.
That's right.
And when you start talking like this, the God self wakes up inside of you. And it's like I can see Jesus, well, the Christ self. Jesus, it was the body of the Christ self. Like Clifton is the body, Antoinette is the body, Lisa is the body, John is the body. But the real you is the Christ self.
The essential. The essence. You're what has to be there. It's the main ingredient.
When you leave this body, you're going to take all of this with you. If you leave it anywhere, you're going to leave it in those that are still here, and you'll be fully complete with it as it. Now, remember, these are not things, a list of things we're reading off, and we just, what has happened, it's been broken down by us, but we understand that God is not in us reading all these quotes and these things that we're saying, because in beingness, there's no need for separation, individuality of the out of an item list of things.
You know what I've noticed too, pastors?
Hallelujah.
What I've noticed that when we use this list of I am and the ones that you're saying, if we write them down and we recite them, there's a point where we recite them with the mind, it becomes mental, and the intellect just grabs it and just says it as a quote. But when it's said, if it's said from a real knowing or real seeing, there's an impact that comes. That's why I like to slow it down, because if I go through this quickly, it doesn't resonate. It's the truth, but it's not true for me at that moment. So if I say I am complete and I just keep going, I'm blessed, I'm spirit, then I'm just reciting words, But if I take the time to say I am complete and hold it there, I am complete. That says a lot. I am complete. That means there's nothing lacking. That means there's nothing I need to grasp and grope for. That means everything that I'm trying to make happen has happened already. Everything that I think I need to take place has already taken place. I'm complete. So it's important to take your time with these sayings, because to just go through them quickly, the mind grabs it and it just becomes recitals. And that's not what we're talking about.
In the finite world, any president that do not meet the qualifications to line up with
Now
the
we're going to
Constitution.
talk about politics. Okay.
They are to qualify for the Constitution that has been set up. That means that no man should be inaugurated into position of being president that violate the Constitution. But in God, you can violate the constitutions of, well, hold on now. You can violate the constitutions of the inner self, and God won't kick you out, but you'll create a suffering side of the self. You will create, because of your creativeness of the presence of God in you, you create drama and havoc in your life.
You're saying we will create our own judgment.
That's right.
And we don't have to have it, but we will if we violated that inner constitution. If we violated it, then we will set up our own judgment. It's almost an automatic defense, isn't it?
You are the one that inaugurates yourself on this finite world, but in actual reality, you are God already kicking these things in motion from the inside of yourself.
So it's really important to live from that place of love, non-judgment.
That's right.
And forgiveness.
Right. Because if you live from there, you're already creating that. Yes. If you don't live from there, you're creating something that will.
You're creating your own judgment.
Your own judgment, and it will stab you, or it'll be hard for you to walk and move in this dimension, and you become addicted and injected with the serum that is very poison to your true self.
So then the law of karma begins to come into motion.
I hope we're saying something. Yeah. We're moving fast, but we're saying something to you that I know is speaking to God in you. Mm-hmm. And I am going along with what he say we are. Mm-hmm. I am the wisdom, and I am self of wisdom of God in right now. Don't put it off. Put it off. Don't put it off. Don't put it off. Yes. We are now the wisdom of God, and we are the presence of God.
Now listen, we've got some things coming on here. They're talking to us. They're talking to us. John is saying that we're his reminders. Well, thank you. We do. That's all we're doing, actually. And Sister Chris says, I am everything that God is. This is wonderful. Indeed, this is a real knowing. Yes. Thank you.
It is a real knowing.
Yes.
It's not a fake.
Yes.
And you're not to pretend.
Yes. Yes. And
don't have to pretend.
That's right. Keely says, what you feed grows. Yes. And then I saw a bunch of cows I like what Lisa has said this. She said, please say that again. The place of non-judgment and the judgment we bring on ourselves. Yes, that you brought it up. You started with the Constitution.
Yeah. Okay.
And the presidential qualifications and eligibility. There's an inner constitution. We have an inner constitution. It's based on love.
Yeah.
No judgment. And forgiveness. Right. It's a very neutral place, isn't it? It's a very neutral place. And when we violate that, we then set up our own judgments. That's what the purpose of your conscience is. It sets up your own judgment, and God doesn't have to judge you. You judge yourself, and you will set it up. You will start the process of the law of karma. And then you will have what you sow, you will reap.
Now, let's get down into the business again. Finding out this, you do not have to get anointed, because if Christ is the anointed one that covers everything that is he is made, that is he is made out of, you are already anointed. In other words, your chicken is done.
The chicken is done.
Yeah, yeah. Your chicken
Why
is
are you
done.
thinking about chicken?
Well, I'm just telling you, I'm just giving a finite. Well, anyway,
Your
you
chicken is
trying
done. So go ahead.
your ham is cooked,
I think
and
somebody's
your
hungry.
and well, hold on now.
I put something in the microwave, but you didn't get it.
No, I didn't, because this stuff that we're talking now is the reason why. If you read in the scriptures where Jesus and the woman at the well, the reason why he didn't go with the disciples to get something to eat, he said, the bread that I feed you with from inside yourself.
Yeah,
And when
yeah,
you go to saying this, you're pulling pieces of the bread off
yeah.
and magnifying it or putting it into a place inside of yourself that is manifesting food and preservations from the divine self that cannot be bought at a grocery store. Now, we're talking about you fishing and catching the food, but that kind of food will not take the place of what we're saying. This is eternal food that God has provided for every person, but I never thought I could eat from the master's table by looking in the mirror and talking to my divine God identity.
Yes,
Oh, glory be to God. Y'all have to excuse me. I feel this inside. And when you get this glory itself inside of you,
let me say this, Pastor.
wait.
While you're feeling this, I don't want anyone to get stuck on.
Glory
I'm.
be
I'm.
to
I don't
Thank
want
you,
anyone to
Lord.
get
Thank
stuck
you.
in the fact that there is karma or that there is the judgment that you create for yourself. I don't want
Oh,
anyone to
thank
get
you.
stuck there.
Thank you.
But what I do want us to end with on that is that there
Glory.
is the redemption. There's redemption
Inside
for
of you.
that. When one has, I'll say, violated their inner
Mhm,
constitution,
mhm.
and they've not walked in love, they've not been forgiving, or they've walked in judgments. That person does have in their scope of the future possible karmic incidents that will cause them to have to go through that. However, when we come into our knowing and we intentionally live our lives from that place of no judgment and forgiveness and love, when we walk in that as best we can with intent, there is the angel of redemption that comes and can wipe out your historical karma. Not it's not that you get away with it, but it's wiped out automatically because you now are walking in that you're abiding by the Constitution.
In the book.
So it's like pardon,
That's
like
right.
the president pardons.
And we need to pardon ourselves.
Yes, we do. Yes, we
by telling us who we are,
do.
looking in the mirror. Now, when Cain killed Abel, can you imagine how long it took for that boy, his brother, to search around in the woods and the field, a rock or something to try to kill that is eternal? They were both eternal beyond what we're talking about now, beyond the distractions of the side effects of the universe. Now, can you imagine that if he tried to hit him and knock him down, it didn't work? and and every time he hit me, and then you don't see anything in there that he tried to come back at his brother to knock his brother out and kill him.
Yeah.
All you see is one side
Yeah.
trying to Cain killing Abel.
Yeah.
He had to work at that. That didn't happen the first blow. He didn't. He was not Tyson in the ring where you knock him out with 4 or 5 hits. They'll hit. Cain had to hit this boy in the good in a certain place.
And it's interesting in that, and I just thought about it. Cain, if the story's true, if the narrative
If
is
it's true,
Cain killed his brother, not because his brother did something to him, but Cain killed his brother because God accepted his brother and not him.
mm-hmm.
So is it possible that we're killing one another because we see the presence of God on others, and anyway.
God did not accept the
Anyway.
Constitution of one, but the Constitution of the other, because Abel stayed in line with his true identity. Cain didn't.
Abel stayed in line, if the narrative is true, with how God redeemed his parents.
That's right.
God redeemed his parents by killing an animal and putting skin
And
on
each
it.
of that bloodline was
And
passed on.
Cain decided he was going to offer God vegetables,
Yeah,
and that didn't do it.
that's right.
So if the narrative is true, if
it is true, if it did,
but anyway,
it's true.
Leslie said this. She said, better than the tea. This is black coffee, no sugar, no cream.
Girl, I tell you hit that, bro. I tell you, you knocked the ball out the park when you said that. Good Lord, Jesus, y'all. Hey, y'all, Jesus is and my Jesus is having a time with this stuff. Coffee better than tea, and it ain't working. Something working. Like my uncle used to say. I used to tell him, I said, Uncle, you got everything tied down? He said, yes, sir. He said, I got it tied down on the right side and the left side. I said, you sure you got it tied down, Uncle? He said, yeah, I got it tied down on both sides, hold it in the middle, and it's working too. This that we're talking about do not have to make us have a variance of denominational barriers blocking us. And let me tell you what I told Miss Leslie last night. It's this that we're talking about. God, I feel this. This that we're talking about has nothing to do with church. It has nothing to do with denomination. It has nothing to do with fighting and disagreement. It has nothing to do with what's on paper and what is not on paper. What we're talking about was put on paper to give you a hint in your fallen identity self that keeps interfering with your resurrected self. And if God raised Jesus from the dead, and we were all inside him based on Galatians 2:20, if we were inside of Jesus at the cross and in the grave, when Jesus came out, watch this now, he was the Christ coming out of the tomb. The actual Jesus disappeared, and the Christ was the one that came out as the new self, and we are the new self of the Christ coming out of the tomb. 2024 years of age, we might say. You will never have to do this again, but in your conditioned self, it will keep going through the process of being burnt out. And the fire of God inside burns out while you sleep. You don't have to pick a time, no more laying on of hands. If you catch this, lay hands on you, put a paddle on your butt and spank it. It ain't got to be done.
I want to read this scripture, and then we're about to wrap it up. But I'm going to read this in Ephesians. It's Ephesians 2, I'm going to start at the 14th verse and read down. It says, "For he is our peace, who has made both one and has broken down the middle wall of partition between us, has abolished in his flesh the enmity, even the law of commandments contained in ordinances." So it has nothing to do with doing good, not doing this, not doing that. It's not has nothing to do with that. "For to make in himself of two one new man, so making peace, that he might reconcile both unto God in one body by the cross, having slain the enmity thereby, and came and preached peace to you which were far off, and to them that were not. For through him we both have access by one Spirit unto the Father. Now therefore you are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints of the household of God, and are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Jesus Christ himself being the chief cornerstone,
Lord have mercy,
in whom all the building fitly framed together grows into a holy temple in the Lord, in whom you also are builded together for a habitation of God through the Spirit. So this community is a building of God. It's a building that God is inhabiting right now.
Reach your hand out and take my hand in this class. Hold on to it.
Put it up there where they can see it.
Yeah.
Near the camera. Near the camera.
Take my hand and hold on to it. And what I'm talking about now, we've been living in quicksand.
Yes, we have.
And we're going down deep into the quicksand. Pretty soon, you're going to be smothered. And this is what has happened to thousands of people over this earth. They didn't reach their hand out and take hold of their true identity or glory.
Yeah.
Because soon, and many of us already have been smothered in the mud and the quicksand and died with the false self and never found out that they had a hand shake in Jesus Christ's hand that they could have pulled on with this information and pulled themselves up out of the mud and remain constant in walking in this, but they chose to drown in the mud of the swampy earth and die in the false identity. You are now ready. You are ready to come out of the mud and walk like a man and woman of God, completely satisfied, filled with all the blessings of God, and everything has been set up to please God inside of you and go totally against your false identity, effortless.
Going right back to what Sinette says, it's like a homecoming, being joyful without knowing why, peaceful and relaxed, even though the outer circumstances are challenging. That's
right.
That says it.
And now, and you are, and listen to this. It'll seem like all hell is broken loose when you get into this, but hold on to the hand, the unchanging hand of the I am, you are himself. And you will find out that all of this junk, the warfares and the battle of hell, is nothing but a chip off your shoulder.
If they said the battle is the Lord's, then that means there's no need for spiritual warfare.
If the battle of the Lord, there is no battle. Because it's wiped out.
Thank you.
It's wiped out.
Thank you. The battle is
the minute you get a hold of this brew, it'll make your old moonshine buddies hate moonshine.
Now we've got to do some business here. I want you guys to hit the like button. John Greason always reminds us because he's good for that. And Jill's always reminds us to give and how to give. It's easy to do that. And you can simply go to the website or you can text it. It's right there on your screen, easily to do that. And I found out in Facebook, you can actually, it's set up where you can just hit those links and go directly to them. So I know how easy it is to watch a video and just leave it and not give anything, not contribute. I've done it myself. So I'm not judging you for it. But those of you who have benefited from this, we need you to give. And you need to give because it is the only way you can express your abundance. That is the only way you can express your abundance, by giving. And I want to remind you that when you do give your tithes and your offerings to Cornerstone, it goes to someone else. 10th of your tithes goes to crisis control to help other people. So we're tithing from your tithe. That means there's a flow. There's a flow that keeps going. And when you give to a giver, your flow continues. If you give to people who hoard and don't give, then it just stops there. But when you give to a giver, it continues and you have an outflow and an inflow, outflow and inflow. Remember to do that, to tithe and give your tithes and your offerings to Cornerstone. And Pastor and I thank you so much for your gifts to us as cash apps and in the mail and all of those things. Thank you so much. I want to remind you guys, if you want to send something to us, please, please, please don't put your cash money in an envelope, because that's too tempting for some people when they see it come through and they see some money in that envelope at this time of year specifically. Do not do that. It's just not pretty, it's not too secure. So if you want to make sure we get it, make sure that you send it in a way that it won't be taken out of the envelope. And then, of course, if you send it by mail, Vern will make sure we get it. If you send it to the P.O. box, she'll make sure that we get it. We appreciate you so much. I need to remind you that I said this on last Sunday, that StreamYard, the platform we use to do our live streams, it's coming due on January, I think January the 25th, I can't remember, but January. And recently they doubled the annual subscription, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
It went from $247 to $400 and something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, man, Pastor and I are having to really pay that out of our pockets. So I know somebody out here has the money to fund that. So I'm expecting it to come in to Pastor and myself to pay for that StreamYard subscription. And I know that it's happening. So I thank you already for that. I thank you for the manifestation.
I'm going to say this to you guys, and this is because I know something. I can say this in a way that the wife may not be as prudent to you as I might be. But her daddy used to say, now, if you're going to send cash money, he would say to you, like I would say, a card or envelope, a card or a gift card or a certain special card for Christmas. He would say to you, if you're going to send money, he said, now I'm going to say it's raw. He said, crawl up the buzzard butt and pray that he don't poop.
But now there have been those who have sent cash money with a card, and that's hidden. But when it's nothing,
but we didn't want to say it like that. But that's, we don't want to give away our secret of the, going up.
We're living in some very
up the buzzard.
Yeah, we heard you.
We ain't trying to be crude. We ain't trying to be crude. We just telling you.
You're not trying to be crude.
No. They don't, and no right reaction is needed from either one of us.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna hit the button, you're gonna have to hit it right.
Anyway, guys, I know you got our drift, and we will. I think you'll come back on Tuesday. You're gonna come back Tuesday night.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
It's Christmas Eve, but I don't know if you'll be shopping or if you'll be partying or whatever you're doing. If you're not doing any of that, then come on, be back with us at
Yeah,
7 on
me, her, and
Tuesday.
baby girl be right here.
Yeah, we'll come on back
She's
and
in
talk
the
a little
house
bit of
now.
this stuff. And we look forward to seeing you with us. And we thank you so much for your participation today, staying with us the whole time. We love you. We bless you. And we're going to take off right here. We love you so much.
Okay.
You got something else you can say?
If it is real, it is God. Anything that's not real is dead. And God is life.
Yeah.
He's the eternal life.
Yeah.
Inside of you.
You are.
And you don't get it. You don't pray for it. You just recognize and become aware of it.
That's good, Pastor. That's good. See you later. We'll see you Tuesday night.